What does rural China actually look like today, after decades of breakneck development? What has really changed underneath all the headlines? Today, I'm taking you to a small village in the Kadian district of Wuhan, about 40 kilometers from the city center, to share what I saw with my own eyes. No filter, just my honest impressions. The first thing that struck me, walking in, was how clean and beautifully paved the roads are. I grew up in the countryside myself, so I remember exactly what it used to be like. Gravel and packed dirt, bumpy underfoot, and every passing car kicking up a cloud of dust that took minutes to settle. China's reputation as an infrastructure superpower really does reach all the way out here. Even in a village this remote, the roads are immaculate. Walking this tree-lined path, listening to birds and cicadas, with the breeze on my face. It's the kind of quiet that resets something in you. But the further I walked, the more something else became obvious. The village is empty, especially of young people and children. It's 6 in the evening right now, and I've barely passed a soul. I still remember so clearly what this hour used to feel like when I was a kid. Kids everywhere, playing hide and seek, kicking a ball around, swimming in the river. Grown-ups gathered under the big trees, fanning themselves, chatting, sometimes bickering, always together. That scene doesn't exist anymore. The reason is simple. Life in the countryside doesn't pay. So the young generation left for the cities. But the city didn't make things easier. Dating, mortgages, car payments. The pressure followed them there. Marriage rates have fallen. Birth rates have fallen. Raising a child has become expensive enough that fewer people are willing to try. Many young people don't want to date at all anymore. And even surrounded by millions of people in the city, plenty choose to stay in, alone, scrolling through short videos instead of stepping outside. Everything around us has gotten more advanced, and somehow, people have only gotten lonelier. It's a strange, quiet kind of loneliness, the kind that can exist even in the middle of a crowd. Further along, I reach the farmland, a cornfield. Where a woman was busy with a harvest. Her straw hat, the towel draped around her neck to wipe away the sweat. It's practically the uniform of a Chinese farmer, and it's a scene straight out of my childhood. Maybe scenes like this won't be around much longer. Younger generations have no interest in farm work. And with automation and AI advancing the way they are, it's likely just a matter of time before machines take over labor like this entirely. Look at these houses along the road, newly built, with air conditioning installed. Growing up, houses this large were rare, and air conditioning rarer still. And right next to them, you can see what used to stand here. An old, abandoned house with piles of broken bricks scattered along the roadside. The small, old homes are being cleared away to make room for the new, bigger ones. This house here looks completely abandoned now. but it brings back a flood of memories. Most families lived in houses just like it when I was young, and that small separate structure right beside it, that's the toilet. Rural homes back then had no indoor plumbing. Toilets stood apart from the main house, which made things genuinely miserable. Freezing winter nights, pouring rain, having to walk outside every time. And most of these outhouses had no doors at all. So there was an unspoken rule. You would clear your throat before going in, as a kind of knock. If someone coughed back, you knew it was occupied. It's a strange little ritual, almost funny in hindsight, and it's probably going to disappear from memory completely as this generation ages. Further ahead, the architecture shifts into a traditional Huizhou style, genuinely beautiful. A little way off, a handful of villagers are gathered, talking. But it's a much smaller crowd than it used to be. I remember when gatherings like this were huge, back when the power supply was unreliable, and on hot summer nights, whole families would drag their bamboo beds outside, string up mosquito nets, and sleep under the stars together, eating watermelon and fanning each other in the dark. Right by the road, here is an automatic water vending machine with what looks like a proper filtration system, though there's no price posted. Next to it, an EV charging station. Electric vehicles have taken off across China, and the infrastructure has followed close behind, reaching even a village this far out. The rate posted here is 0.58 RMB per kilowatt hour, about 8 US cents, and you can pay for it straight from your phone. Private cars are everywhere now. Blue license plates mean gasoline. Green plates mean new energy vehicles, EVs and hybrids, which come with government subsidies as an incentive. Back in the day, the only vehicles running through this village were walking tractors, mostly hauling manure out to fertilize the fields and fish ponds. This tree is in full bloom. I don't actually know what kind it is, but it's beautiful. That wall over there has a faded advertisement for soy sauce, painted right over what used to be a government slogan. Things like targeted poverty alleviation, leave no one behind. Over the years, that same wall space shifted from political messaging to commercial ads, soy sauce, SIM cards, fish feed. It's a small, physical record of an entire era's transition. 我儿帕金儿公校, she here, a supply and marketing cooperative, a direct holdover from China's planned economy days, when people needed ration coupons just to buy oil, rice, meat, or cloth. A lot of these places still carry the original name, even though inside they've become ordinary, modern supermarkets. Across the road, a mobile vendor truck rolls by. These drivers travel village to village, buying watermelon, garlic, and ginger straight from farmers, then haul it all to the city to sell. It reminds me of being a kid, when the highlight of the day was hearing the ice pop vendor's bicycle bell ringing into the village. Up ahead is a lotus pond. Leaves, flowers, seed pods, all in bloom, with the houses framing it just right. Honestly, it feels like walking through a garden. But there's a catch. You can hear the noise even now. A brand new highway was recently built right in front of the village. I couldn't help wondering if it keeps people up at night. I've stripped out the background audio here. But in reality, the traffic noise carries. On either side of the road, wheat grows in neat, even rows, the kind of picture-perfect countryside scene you'd imagine from a storybook. There's a pond here too. You'll find one like it in nearly every old village in China. Ancestors dug them by hand, originally to collect rainwater for cooking and washing. These days, they're mostly used for fish farming. That little fountain is an aerator, keeping oxygen in the water. Maybe locals come here to fish when they have the time. This gentleman just finished eating and is washing his dishes by the roadside. The scraps will go to feed the chickens. He's using an old-fashioned hand well pump, and he let me try it myself. The water was ice cold and clean, and he brought back that exact feeling of drinking well water as a kid after running around outside all day. It's a little unusual, though, to see a water source sitting right in the middle of the road. Nearby, another man is scooping water by hand and hauling it to his vegetable garden with an electric tricycle, a sign the village's irrigation system still has some catching up to do. Though, honestly, this kind of manual labor was just a daily life when I was growing up. Finally, the village memorial archway. Structures like this were traditionally built to honor major achievements. But today, it stands simply as the gateway to the village and a quiet symbol of collective pride. On the pillars flanking the road, a couplet is carved into the stone. May the nation be prosperous, the people live in peace, and wealth endure for 1,000 autumns. May families be harmonious, neighbors be friendly, and talent flourish for 10,000 generations. And across the top, peace when coming and going. It's a line that captures something core to Chinese philosophy, the relationship between family and nation. The blessing doesn't stop at one household. It radiates outward. Harmony starts small, in the family. It spreads to the neighbors. The neighbors become a village, and the village, in time, becomes part of a peaceful nation. It echoes an old piece of wisdom. Cultivate yourself. Put your family in order. Govern the state. Bring peace to the world. You can't build a stable nation without first building a stable home. Beside the archway stands a stone tablet, inscribed in classical Chinese, the Archway Chronicle. Without training in classical literature, it's genuinely difficult to read. But essentially, it records the history of this monument. This village, it turns out, is a traditional clan settlement, mostly families sharing the surname Lu, whose ancestors settled here to farm the land generations ago. The exact dates and names have long since been lost. What's remarkable is that this archway wasn't funded by the government at all. It was entirely crowd-funded by the Liu family themselves. The tablet lists every donor by name, their current city, and the exact amount they gave, the largest single donation reaching 100,000 RMB, about $14,000 US. They built this together, simply to honor their lineage and bring pride to their hometown. 4 stone lions stand guard out front. In Chinese tradition, mythical guardians place at entrances to ward off misfortune and protect the people inside. As the sun goes down, I'm not sure why, but a rural sunset like this always settles something in me. It really is beautiful.